Very misty, wet, moist, shrouded day here in the central Waikato. And the cows are in for a special treat. I'm just on my way to move them into some unusual pasture, which they're going to thoroughly enjoy. Hey girls! Whoop! Whoop! That's my call. I know it. I know what it means. Whoop! Whoop! It means they're going to get fed. Hey! Hey! Where's my special girl? Oh, there she is, down the back. I know her because she's the fattest. Hey up! Whoop! Here she comes. Here she comes. Come on, girl. Whoop! Hey up! There she is. Hi! Hey! Hi, how's my girl? Good? Okay, I'm just going to go and open some gates. And you've got a big day of heavy feeding ahead. Hey! Okay, here we are. Now here's the special feed. See that row of oak trees? Lots and lots of nice coarse grass and herbage. Unusual plants they don't normally get to eat. And lots of fresh, crisp, moist, green oak leaves. And cows love tree leaves. They'll go that extra mile to pluck every single leaf. These trees have been untended for a long time and there's a lot of work to do in there. So I want to get rid of the grass so I can get to work in there. And all those trees growing on the drain bank, they have to go. It's important that the drains can run clear, and those trees have been left far too long. So hopefully they'll eat all the lower branches, and then later on I'll come in with a chainsaw and clear it all off. So here we go. I was in here yesterday. This is an irrigation paddock Fonterra used to disperse wastewater and whey from the factory up the road. Grass is very long. Actually, you could probably see the sprinklers way off in the background there. This is going to be cut and carried very shortly. Contractors are coming in, but they can't get under these trees because, you know, you see the big branches everywhere. So I've made a temporary fence yesterday. It's the odd shape because there's a water trough way up, just up there. Cows haven't been in here for years. So I cleaned out the water trough. It's got fresh new water in it. Got this temporary fence happening. And they're just going to love it in here. Cows spend most of their time in open pasture in New Zealand, but what they really, really like is hidden, dense grassland and trees, and they like to get inside there and hide away, which I think is probably built into their genes. You know, in nature, you don't want to be in too much open land. Predators can find you easily, so they kind of like hiding, and they'll be excited and they'll run around and they'll play and jump, but mostly they'll just be hiding and getting a lot of satisfaction from that. So here we go. I'm just going to go off and get them. Be back in a moment. Oh, and look, there's Spotty, the cowshed cat. She's a little feral cat. My old dad caught her a couple of years ago, took her to the vet, got her fixed up, and let her go again. And he comes down every day at about 11 AM and feeds her and another cat called Maisie. Spot and Maisie not used to me yet, but Spot's getting a little bit friendlier. Whoop! Whoop! Help! Hey guys, you ready? Okay, here we go. This is the tricky bit. Getting them out the gate. It's going to be chaos. No dogs or motorbikes here, just me. I spent a lot of time just hanging around them, getting them used to me, knowing that I'm no threat. Gentle treatment. They pretty much know the drill. They think they're going to go into the next paddock because they've been through this a dozen times. But see, they're going to the gate, realizing it's shut. Bloody hell. Confusion. But they'll figure it out. If you're chasing them around with a dog or a ute or a motorbike, it gets a bit chaotic. But if you just sort of leave them to it, they find their way. There we go. Just a very small mob of cows now. They were quite big. These are the fat ones have already gone off to slaughter. I know that sounds horrible, but you know, that's the way it is. These guys are just putting on a bit of weight. They'll be going off in about 4 weeks. Minus my pet. She's staying. She's going to stay here for the rest of her life. Come on, girls. Hello. Okay, I'm just going to turn it off for a minute because it's going to be tricky getting them around the corner maybe. See, there she goes, straight for the leaves. That's privet. God, they love that stuff. Oh, yep, no, they found their way. Good girls. Cows are pretty smart. Yep, there they go. They're going to another gate. That one's closed too. What's going on? It's not the way it works. Okay, just got to wait for them to see the open gates ahead, just over there. Oh, girls. Yeah. There's a bit of dirt. I'm filling up a hole there. They get a bit excited whenever they pass this. They like to paint their faces in dirt, kick it up in the air. Oh, girls. A few months ago this patch was a junk heap. All the contractors and farm workers that were coming through just throw all the shit down here. It's taken me ages to clean it up. Oh, girls, here we go. Here we go. Still haven't seen the open gate, but they're looking at it. They're cautious. Maybe they'll follow me. Come on, guys. Come on. Woo! Hip! Come on. Come on. Woo! Yeah, here they come. They're going to follow me. Here we go, girls. This way. This way. Come on. Woo! There we go. Come on. Help. They'll, without barking dogs and roaring machinery, they figure it out. They just have a look, just cautiously, checking to make sure it's not dangerous. And here they come. Come on, girls. Whoop. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Gonna be some dancing and jigging now. One laggard steer, big Hereford steer. Come on, boy. Yep, a little bit of a jig and a dance. And look straight away into those leaves. Look at them. Can you see it? Before the eating starts, there'll be some exploring. Just checking out the new area. And look at them way over there, getting stuck into the oak leaves. Oh, it's Christmas time. Let's just see if I can zoom in a bit. There we go. So much excitement. Here's the water trough. Beautiful clear water. You can see right to the bottom. Cleaned it out yesterday. As I said before, cows haven't been in here for years. And look at that. I don't know if you can see it. It's all the shit and muck. I pulled that yesterday. Just put a pipe in the water, siphon it out. It takes about 30 minutes to empty. Then I get a shovel, and then it's just hard yakka. Just shoveling all the muck out. Then I turn the water back on. That's the orange thing, the float there. There's a valve down there. Turn that all back on. Rinse it a bit. Shovel more muck out. And we've got nice clear water. Always important for the stock to have clean water. Look at this grass. Look how thick it is. Give you some idea. Look at that. This is all fertilized by wastewater and waste away from the Hautapu dairy factory. Has been for years. This will all be turned to silage shortly. Just going to have a look at the cows. They've been here for about half an hour now. It's really important. Well, first of all, to explain, perennial ryegrass is the main food source for cattle in New Zealand. Nice, sweet, fast growing grass, full of energy and nutrients. But it's important they get a varied diet. Includes leaves, these big tall coarse grasses. These kind of grasses don't survive well in intensively grazed pasture, but when it's been fenced off, it thrives. Every now and again it's just nice to let the cows in, let them have a feed of that stuff. It's very deep rooted grasses. And they get nutrients that the ryegrass doesn't have. There's lots of wireweed and mallow, all kinds of herbs growing under these trees. The cows just love that stuff. They just scoff it down, especially the fresh new tips on the top. They love that. But as you can see that girl there, I'll just zoom in a bit. Yeah, there she goes. Look at that, getting stuck into those leaves. Oh. It's like candy. And in fact, by the time I let them out of here in 24 hours, this will all be eaten down, and every leaf within reach will be gone. Got contractors coming in a little while. They're going to trim these trees back just a little bit, and that will end up in the firewood pile. Somebody's going to enjoy that, keep them warm during the winter. Nice oak. I could spend all day here just watching the cows. That's one of the enjoyable things about farming. It's just the quiet and the silence, the observational quality, just looking at what's going on around you. That's why I don't want a motorbike. I was asked, can we get your bike the other day? Can we get your four-wheeler? No thanks. I just prefer to train the cows to get to know me and to follow me around. I just don't want the noise. When you've got all that noise, you just can't see things. You miss things. Things like that. Yep, sure, they get a short life. It's only a couple of years and they're off to the works. Get turned into your mince and your steak. But until then, I want them to have a dream life. Happy and stress-free. No worries at all. There's some big mobs of pukakers in here. They all took off when the cows came in. I hope there's no nests. That was weighing on my mind yesterday. I was thinking, oh, those poor buggers. I was putting the fence up, I could see pukaks everywhere. But you know, life can be tough on a farm. Oh, and here she is. Here she is. There's my girl. There's my pet. She was meant to go with the last mob to the works, but I bought her. Well, some friends chipped in. We raised $1,700 to pay for her, which is her on the hoof value. And she stayed behind. She's very fat. Now she's a permanent cow. She might live for the next 20 to 30 years. God knows how fat she's going to get. Too fat, probably. But keeping is a symbolic act. Letting one cow fulfill her life's potential. It's a little thing, but it makes me feel better. These guys are Angus. See that little head nod she just gave? It was just a little hello, hi, trust you, got no problems with you. There are some misplaced pukaks. Nesting area has been disturbed. Still, I can console myself by saying there's so many of them. They're everywhere on the farm. So I must be doing something right. They're a tough breed. If it wasn't for the presence of State Highway 1B, which is just a few meters down the road, you probably hear the cars in the background, the silence would be perfect and absolute. Well, there's always the birds, but that's just part of the silence in some ways. You want to hear this place first thing in the morning. It's just an uproar. I don't know how many thousands of birds are on the farm. A lot. And I see mobs of them. Huge mobs of starlings, big mobs of sparrows and wax eyes, blackbirds. There'll be a blackbird and a thrush every metre or so, and the hedges and the hedgerows. There's all the pukaks, and there's a mob of wild pigeons living in one of the trees. They've been there for years and years and years. What else have we got? Lots of hawks, oodles of hawks. Miners, lots of miners, quite big mobs of miners. Even if a few natives, a few tuis, the odd more pork. There's some of those parakeets. I think they're the Aussie imports though. Oh, and of course we can't forget the magpies. Maybe there's about 15-20 magpies living on the farm. Intergenerational families. mist and the fog is beginning to clear now. We can see the hills coming up in the background. That's the Timerau Ranges, the historic Timerau Ranges, volcanic plateau during the land wars. Fleeing Maori went up there, formed the first Maori parliament. It got burnt down, I think in 1916, if I remember correctly. They had a printing press, they had farms, they had a big marae. They were forced out, of course. This used to be a swamp, a very reliable source of kai. And just up there ahead is Puki Mori Mori. And we'll finish up with the last shot of the cows, just getting stuck into the herbage here. I think it's important that cows get to eat food that isn't perennial ryegrass. They get medicinal compounds, they get nutrients and antioxidants, all kinds of vitamins and minerals that they won't find in the grass. I never drench them, never drench them, never give them B12 shots, which is a fairly standard practice in New Zealand. I always get top dollar for whatever herd I'm looking after, and I think that's just because I make sure they get a wide variety of feed. My last job, they had a big arboretum, and I was always pruning and trimming trees, and rather than throw them on the pile for burning, I'd take them all out into the paddocks first and let the cows eat all the leaves. Big variety of plants, and they'd scoff all the leaves down. Then I'd pick up all the branches and take them to the funeral pyre. There's Timothy grass, there's Yorkshire fog, there's prairie grass. I can see about 7 or 8 different types of grasses.